All right. All right, so we'll get started. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the summer internship series, Navigating Internship. This is the Midpoint Reflection Workshop. My name is Camille Hall. I am the Associate Director for Internships and Student Employment here at Beyond Barnard. And I'm joined by my great colleague, Zena, who will introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Glad to see you all here. My name is Zena Jones. I'm the Internship Program Coordinator at Beyond Barnard.
All right. So for today's agenda is pretty straightforward. We're going to do a recap of the first part of the series, Navigating the Internship. And then also we're going to go through some reflection questions. In the description of this workshop, we wanted to provide all of you just a space just to think about where you are right now for your internship, ask you some guiding questions, and be able to offer, feedback, advice in a group setting. Also, just allow even your peers to offer some feedback, advice, and just shared experiences that all of you may be going through. Again, everything that's shared in the space is, depending on your comfortability and what you want to share. Again, if you want to share via, video, audio, or you just want to do in the chat, that's perfectly fine. But we hope to have this as more as a conversation with all of you in regards to where you are with your internship. All right. So just want to give you a sense of what to expect in this space. So before we get into just like reflection, I definitely want to just do a brief recap of part one. Some of you may have attended that. Some of you, this might be your first, joining Zena and I for the first time. So I just want to do a quick recap of that. All right. All right. So in the first session, we covered your to-do list, like starting out your internship. So something that we talked about was refamiliarizing yourself with your job and organization, which is so important when you are starting an internship. Just so you have a sense of like what you're walking into. So that consisted of connecting with your supervisor and making sure that you confirm the expectations of your role. That's really key to having a successful start, knowing what are your responsibilities, knowing what, I guess the outlines of your internship, that's really important. Also confirming the logistics on how to carry out your responsibilities. And when we discuss about logistics, like, what is if you're doing a virtual internship, what is that virtual culture for the organization you're working with? When are you, let's say clocking in? When are the meetings taking place? What tools are you using to carry out your work? So those are some of the things that we discussed in regards to like when you're starting out your internship, what are the key things on your to-do list? Second part that we discussed in the part one was your to think list. So making sure that you make note of note of the things you want to learn before the end of the semester. This is really important in regards to getting I guess, understanding of what soft skills and hard skills do you want to enhance, do you want to learn before your internship ends this summer. And that allows you to create, like I guess like a checklist or a timeline as to how do you want to go about achieving that goal. Another thing on your to think list was identifying resources to help you with your potential challenges or obstacles you may encounter. No internship may be like, perfect, 100% great. So we had a discussion on, what resources are in hands reach that you could tap into if, I'm sorry, if someone has their thing on, if you can mute yourself, those of you who may have your audio on, actually, I think, there we go. All right. So going back to this, what I was saying, Identifying your resources to help you with your potential challenges or obstacles you may encounter. Definitely here at Beyond Barnard, we offer our services to provide you with, advising or specific programming to help you with any challenges or obstacles come up. That may be in a group setting, that might be in a one-on-one session, or that might be where we refer you to additional resources outside of our office. Something that we also discussed was identifying potential opportunities for professional development. So when you're going through your internship, whatever, let's say, organization or industry that you are working in, seeking, like, what are some affiliations that you can become a part of? What are some networks that your colleagues are a part of that can help you gain more professional visibility in your field? Maybe potentially attend a conference where you can learn some of the key or new developments in your industry or trends or so forth, for skills. These are really important things to think about and to identify, so it can really enhance your summer experience. And then also we discuss establishing your SMART goals. So basically, using the information from your to-do list and your to-think list to create goals that are SMART. And all of you know what that acronym means. SMART, meaningful, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals that will get you through the summer. So that's basically a really brief recap of the highlights of what was discussed in the first part of the series. So it was a lot of, like us sharing information with students. And again, for today's session, we're hoping to have more of a dialogue with all of you, invite more voices into the space where you're not just hearing my voice and Zena's voice, but more so a conversation amongst us all. So we hope that that will take place. All right, so moving on. So now we'll move on to some reflection questions, and I will pass this on to my colleague, Zena, to get started.
Okay, so some questions, as Camille mentioned, just to explore all of the positives and negatives of your internship experience. The first question would be, what do you enjoy most about your summer internship? And anyone could jump right in and answer. If you've definitely started your internship at this point, and even if you're starting later on, might be quite a few of you that might be starting your internship in July or later on this month. What are some of the things that you enjoy most? What have you found most fulfilling, or what do you hope to get out of your internship experience? What are you looking forward to as you get ready to start your internship? And feel free to jump in the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself, but what do you enjoy most so far, or what are you looking forward to? Anybody? Okay, so we have someone in the chat said that I like the people that I get to work with. We have similar interests and worldviews. That's awesome. And it's good to connect with other people who have similar interests. Those connections can go a long way. You might not feel like you're networking at the time, but it's definitely a network tool to connect with people who share your similar interests and share your similar thoughts. So that's good. We also have in the chat, I enjoy that as long as I complete my hours, I kind of make my own schedule and get to do research lab out about topics that I'm personally interested in as well. And that's also key. That's good. Um, just making sure that you um, are doing what you are set out to do in your internship or in your research, and that you're not doing anything different or anything that's not living up to the expectations that you've hoped to get out of your internship experience. So that's good. Another something else in the chat, I've enjoyed working at a small firm since I've gotten to be highly involved and learn about everyone's work. That's great. Um, Small settings are good. It's good to get connected in smaller settings. You kind of avoid the risk of getting lost or kind of getting submerged in the shuffle. So that's awesome. I got to move up to an administrator. I got moved up to an administrator for my team and now get to help onboard around 50 people who also want to come work with us. So that's good. Um, wow, they put you in a supervisory role. So that's also good. Um, I've really enjoyed having a female boss. She's tuned into a real role model. She's turned into a real role model for me. That's excellent. Um, Awesome, awesome. Keep them coming. I love the people that I work with, and I love the fact that I'm going to have professional connections and bylines, and working with queer people is really cool. Fellow queer people. Awesome. These are all good things. Making sure that those connections, it's all about connections and just connecting with different people, networking with different people. They're gonna go a long way, even after you um, go beyond Barnard. You will, you will find that reconnecting with those connections that you've made in your internship are very, very important, and they will take you a long way. So these are awesome answers to that question, what you enjoy most about your internship. um Anyone that hasn't started their internship in this space that are looking forward to um different things, or okay, so I'm guessing everyone has already started the internship. So we'll move on to the next question.
Oh,
Um,
Christina, I think there's another thing in the
there's
chat.
another. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Um,
Oh,
I'm also currently at my internship in the conference room. So sorry, I have to have my camera off. No worries. That's cool. No worries. I just started like 3 days ago, and I'm excited to finish training and begin my work. Great. Great.
yeah, this all of you are off to like a really great
Mhm.
start. Those of you who are just starting, I mean, I could feel the energy, the positive energy coming through in this dialogue right now, and it's great that the work that a number of you have already done already has moved you up quite fast. So I'm really excited for all of you. The fact that we see a lot of positives so far.
Okay, so we'll get to what has been the most difficult aspect or aspects of your internship so far. Have you run into any obstacles? Um, Not so much negative, but maybe some challenges that you see that you probably have to kind of navigate through. Um, Anybody experiencing anything like that? Any foreseeable challenges that you think might come up because of one or two experiences that you've had so far? Anything that you want to share out is perfectly fine. So we have one in the chat. As far as difficulty, here's like a funny amount of physical, there's like a funny amount of physical labor. I often have to lug 50-pound boxes of magazines in a cart and upstairs and courier stuff in the heat. It's good exercise though. That's positive. So yeah, keeping a positive mindset throughout anything challenging is key. So thanks for sharing that. Um, Online has been a downside because I'm sorry, I believe the spontaneity and raw connections that are built in person are a little harder to experience online. That's true. The remote life has become probably second nature to us now. So developing those connections in person is nothing like developing connections online. So kudos to you if this is your first time working at an organization and everything is done online and you have to introduce yourself online. You have to start your internship online. You have to kind of, build those connections online. So that is a challenge, definitely. Um, Doing a remote internship and it's a bit isolating. Yep. But I've been making the effort to reach out to other people in the organization to set up get to know you meetings. That's awesome. So yeah, we encourage everyone to do that. So just like a 10-15 minute um, uh, introduction or a meeting with the person that you report to or your colleagues at the organization you're interning at is definitely a good thing to do. So don't be hesitant to reach out to those people to kind of connect online. I know online is difficult. So another chat. I've definitely had some difficulty setting boundaries in terms of hours, but it's also been a great experience having to speak up and set those boundaries. Also good, very good, because um, as an intern, unfortunately, you kind of organizations kind of run the risk of kind of taking advantage almost, and we definitely don't want to have you even uh, go through that. So definitely use us as support and reach out to us and let us know if you need any assistance with talking with supervisors or talking with colleagues who maybe giving you additional hours. Um, have you doing additional tasks that weren't outlined in your internship beforehand. So thanks for speaking up about that and speaking up and setting those boundaries at your internship. Very, very, very good. Um, my manager is pretty disorganized, which is difficult, but it has definitely helped me learn to advocate for myself more. So that's great. Um, I'm curious, are you, and this came from Caroline, are you working with your manager to I guess, organize your manager, or how are you having to do anything that your manager should be doing, um, but you're doing in their place? I'm just curious.
I think it's like kind of started off as like being a little bit thrown into the deep end and not like completely sure what I was doing. But I feel like I've advocated for myself in terms of just letting him know that I need a little bit more structure and guidance. And so that's been really helpful.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's very good. And advocating for yourself is definitely um a scary thing, but it's a necessity. If you start now advocating for yourself now, it'll be a breeze later on. So definitely speak up when necessary and be tactful in speaking up. And like I said before, just reach out to us if you need any assistance with just talking with supervisors and managers and colleagues about setting boundaries, making sure that you're not doing anything you're not supposed to do. Okay, thanks for that, Caroline. um we have another chat. I'm really lucky that I'm in person, but the commute can be rough. Yes. Sometimes it takes me an hour to get downtown, and I'm working another job from home. So I'm basically working, commuting from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wow. So kudos to you, Caitlin. That's a lot. But definitely, like we've learned from other comments, just make sure that you set those boundaries if it gets to be a bit much, and don't be hesitant, like I said, to reach out to your supervisor and, just have like a one-on-one to discuss what you need out of your internship. And because you're a student first, always remember that you're still a student first. So thanks to everyone for everyone's input. This is great stuff. So any questions so far that you have for us about anything, any of the questions that we've asked, or anything else that's been going on that you want to? Okay, we have one question. My supervisor has changed during my internship. Is there anything I have to do? Good question. Just let us know who you can email us offline and let us know who your supervisor is now. So that way, when we connect with them for the midpoint check-in, we can we'll have the correct information for your supervisor. So just send us your new supervisor if you can. Thank you. Another question. Will there be more opportunities this summer to schedule PCA meetings? That's a good question. We will definitely update you guys by the end of the week or early next week, just to confirm where the PCAs are right now and how you can get your resume update completed. It may come down to you completing your resume update early on in the fall, but we will definitely circle back and let you know and keep you posted in the newsletter. So just look out for any information, any updates, anything in the that happens with BBIP. We will definitely put that in the newsletter. So thanks for asking. You can email myself and Camille. I can put that in the chat. But any information changes, definitely just send that our way and we'll go from there. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll move on. So just to continue, something that you've learned about the internship or the job so far. How would you describe the work culture at your internship site? What's the culture like? I know the culture just in society as a whole has changed drastically. So what does your internship look like? What is that? Are you is it a cool environment? Is it laid back, or is it very formal? And what are just some of the things that you are going through? And what insights into the job have you gained so far from your internship experience? And feel free to drop them in the chat if you don't want to talk on Zoom. Okay. Okay, so we have extremely understanding and supportive, very community-based, that's important, and everyone is there to help other people to get their work done, which is super nice and helpful. That is great. You're lucky to get an organization or a work culture that is like that. So that's awesome. The culture at my office is really relaxed. My bosses are out of the office quite a bit, so there's a lot of flexibility and we are really friendly with each other. That's awesome. Very good. Another chat comment. I really enjoyed the culture at my internship since it is the fashion sector, meaning my team is mostly made up of creative, hardworking women. Awesome. It has been very exciting and low stress to work with them. That's good. Um, and super lucky to be around creative, hardworking women. That's definitely a plus. So these are all good things, and it's really um, really rewarding to hear that you all are getting a good having a good start to your internship and getting a lot out of it, despite any of the challenges that you're going through, that it's remote or it's the commute may be a little taxing, but um, awesome to hear that you're getting uh, good experiences out of this. So anyone have anything to comment on as far as insights into the job, um, what you've gained out of your experience so far, anything that you thought you knew but you didn't know and that you've learned or kind of relearned, um, anything that you just you just learned for the first time and you're excited about, anybody come across like a possible internship for the fall or next summer, something new and exciting, feel free to share in the chat or you can unmute yourself. Okay. So we'll move on. What are some valuable things that you've learned about yourself and the career goals throughout this experience so far? So we've um, we've encouraged you, I guess, in the beginning of um, the workshop series and in the info session and orientation, we've made it a point to encourage you to set goals for yourself so that 6 months from then or 6 months from now, we can reflect back, and even maybe 3 months from now, you can reflect back and see if you have reached those goals, where you are in achieving those goals. Um, so what are the valuable things that you've already learned about yourself? Um, and also what we want you to think about is, have you had any changes in your attitudes or beliefs as a result of your internship? Anything that you thought about, or that you were convicted in believing in, that something kind of just changed that? Feel free to let us know in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself. So we have a couple. I've been splitting my time between pinup and deputy editor's side project weekly senator. So I will probably be applying for the internship grant in the fall for that. Okay. Very cool. We will welcome your application in the fall, definitely. I've learned more about the different aspects of working at a nonprofit and has really solidified my interest in goals of working at, well, I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Working at one in the future and giving me a better idea of what to expect. So that's great. And that's what this is. That's definitely what this is. And talking with alum who we've had the privilege to chat with during the spring and the fall, that's definitely one of the key things that you take away from your internship, is that you know where you want to go or you know where you don't want to go. It's all a learning experience. That and the networking and making connections are very important. So that's definitely good. Anyone else or anybody have any questions? Okay, so we have one. I feel better about my skills as a writer and have learned that working with an editor is like 50% of the work. Most people aren't natural talents. They just have good editors. Yep, that is definitely true. That is true. Definitely. This is all good stuff. So awesome to know we have writers and creators and anything else? Anything that has changed your attitude or beliefs? Anything that you thought that you were totally down with and you're like, nope. This changed my thoughts. This changed my whole mindset completely. Okay.
All right, well, I guess I'll jump in, Zena, let you get a sip of water or something.
All right.
So one thing you haven't done yet. One thing you haven't done that you hope to do by the end of your internship. Let's start there. Yeah, so is there anything that I guess on your to-do list that you are, you're looking forward to completing or accomplishing by the end of your internship? Feel free to share, put that in the chat, unmute yourself, whatever works best for you. Also, if you would like to answer their additional questions, which are, what are some skills you would like to sharpen before your internship concludes? Or, it could be, what do you want or need more exposure to have an enriching experience? So there is some stuff going on in the chat. So let's see what's going on. Make sure I'm okay, I think, yeah. Okay, someone says, I hope to talk to some people in adjacent departments and learn more about their work. Yeah, that's a really good idea. So therefore you get a full, I guess like a holistic sense of like, every aspect of how that department or that organization meets its mission and its goal. So I think definitely add that to your to-do list or action step as to, how do you connect with those people in adjacent departments? If you're not in person, obviously it's a little more, it's challenging because you can't maybe just walk over to that office space. So maybe you might have to get a little strategic in pinpointing the person or the persons that you want to talk to, and maybe scheduling, like sending an email or perhaps scheduling a phone call, just saying like, hey, I'm really interested in the work that you do for the department. And just ask, like, I just want to learn more. Most people are excited to share about the great work they're doing. So I think that, that might definitely work in your favor. Let's see here. Someone else says, I'd like to do an in-person interview. I've been doing reviews and profiles mostly, and I would like to actually talk to someone. Well, I think you definitely want to just make that into action step and see how you could go about identifying the person to do an in-person interview and see like basically their comfortability, and seeing like if that's something that you can put on your calendar before the semester, before your internship ends. So perhaps maybe talking to your supervisor or colleagues as to how you could go about making sure that comes to fruition. Because I think that would be, as I could see in your message, that would be a great addition to your internship experience. Yeah, sure thing, no problem. Here, someone says, have a reflection call closer to the end of the internship with my supervisor about my work and my future goals. Yeah, that's a really great idea. Actually, I would encourage, all of you, if that is possible, to have something like that, a reflection call or You know, some internships might look at it as like an exit interview, where you get to, you know, talk about your work, the work accomplished, perhaps talk about, you know, future goals outside of or after you leave the internship that you want to continue to build on. It's a really great way to, you know, foster a relationship with, you know, your supervisor, or just like, you know, a more seasoned professional, that perhaps, you know, that could turn into, let's say, like a mentorship or someone that you could refer back to when you have questions or concerns, you know, as you are going along your path. So yeah, so I think that's a great idea. I think the sooner you could get that on your calendar, the better. So, you know, you may want to bring that up with your supervisor now, to see about their availability, and also bring it up, you know, sooner. It sets the tone that, you know, this is something that, you know, this is more of a formal meeting, and that you'll bring like an agenda to the meeting, to have a, you know, a really productive conversation. So yeah, great idea. Any other thoughts on skills that you would like to sharpen before your internship ends, or things that you want to need more exposure to? Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Anybody else have any thoughts I want to add to this part here? Okay. Well, if not, then I'll move on to the next slide. Oops. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. My computer is like acting up right now. Let me go back. I don't know if I can go back. All right. You can still see my slides, right? Okay, there we go. I'll pause here. Any other questions that you may have for Zena and I that we may not have answered, or just other things that you want to, you know, concerns or things that you want to share at this time? We're happy to do so as we actually come to the end of this presentation. Zena, anything that you would like to add or ask to our group?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it. Like you said, if anyone has any additional questions or concerns that may have cropped up at your internship that you want to talk to us about, or you want to share out, definitely jump right in. You never know, one of your peers might be going through the same thing you're going through and might not want to speak on it. But if you have anything you want to share out, you know, totally free to do so. And either drop it in the chat, or, you know, direct message us, or just unmute yourself and we can have a cool discussion about it. But that's what we're here for. We're here for support, and this is a community of support. So just, you know, feel free to let us know what you have questions about.
Well, I don't see anything going on in the chat. And no one has unmuted themselves. So I guess we will move on to closing this session. Like Zena said, we are here for each of you throughout your internship process this summer. If you have any questions or concerns, about your internship or just logistics, just about the internship program, please, please, please feel free to reach out to both of us. I definitely want to highlight, like Zena mentioned, we do send out a newsletter that goes out bi-weekly. We put a lot of reminders and updates in that newsletter. So, we encourage you to read it. Oh wait, there's someone in the chat. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is a good question in regards to the requirement for the program. 3 sessions. Keep in mind that we encourage you, if you can't, let's say, attend like this navigating internship series, we encourage you to explore the other workshops or webinars that Beyond Barnard offers. So let's just say, there may be a program, a workshop through my colleagues that's in advising and programming that's happening. You're welcome to do so, and that will count towards the 3 event requirement for the program. So it's not just limited to these sessions if the time frame, doesn't work or it's not ideal for you. So feel free to explore and handshake all the opportunities at Beyond Barnard this summer, part of the summer colloquium, and attend those. What we'll do is we'll continue to remind you, and then as we get closer in July, we'll send you a survey where we will ask you to indicate what sessions you did attend, so we have a clear understanding of how you took advantage of the opportunities. And if for some reason that just overall these meetings are challenging to attend due to your work schedule, please let us know, so we can, a lot of these sessions are recorded. So if it does become a challenge, let us know, and we can see if we can send you the recording of the workshop of your interest. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Well, if there are no other questions or concerns, oh wait. I'll make sure I get everybody. Oh, okay, you're welcome. If there are no other questions or concerns, it was a pleasure sharing the space with all of you. Really proud, and to hear about all the great things that are happening, all the great things that you're doing at your internships. I'm really excited to hear how things go as we get deeper into the summer. We will be doing the third part of the series, the third and final part of the series at the end of July, I believe July 28th. So look out for that on Handshake. You will receive a reminder from one of our colleagues. But again, please, please, please maximize on the opportunities to attend all the offerings at Beyond Barnard through the summer colloquium. So so thank you all. And that's it.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Hey, Caitlin. Caitlin, you have a question? Oh, no, Caitlin does not have a question.
She like, nope, boop.